Okay, I'm going to explain 3 things in this video. The school profile, what the 5 major food groups are, and how to calculate your GPA the way we did it at Vassar College, which I understand was also taken from the way they did it at Yale. Okay, so let's start with the school profile. The first thing is you need to understand if you Google your high school name and then the words school profile, it should come up. It's probably on your high school website under the counseling page or something like that. But you also may not come across it. It may not be very easy to find. So you might want to search just a bit, but if you can't find it, no worries. We'll talk about it when we're in class. So that's number 1. On the school profile, what you're going to find is it's going to give your school's average GPAs, test scores, AP scores, and the list of colleges that the students that go to your school have recently attended and or been admitted to, okay? So when I say it's going to give you it's going to give me the GPA distribution. So if you are in the senior class or when you are a senior, the school profile actually gives information from the most recent graduated senior class, but it doesn't change a whole lot. So you could quickly look at a school profile and kind of see where you fall up against a similar class that just graduated. It also tells the colleges how many honors and AP courses are given or available to you at your high school. So it will list all the honors, it will list all the APs. So I say all of that. It also gives just some information, like it might say that your school has a national winning band or academic decathlon team, or the yearbook wins awards every year. It might say other things like that. It might say that it will definitely tell us how many students go on to four-year institutions, four-year colleges. So what's the college going rate? So it gives a lot of information, so it helps me understand the context in which you come from. Okay, so it's very important that you kind of familiarize yourself with the school profile. Okay, I've listed some sample school profiles in our Google shared folder for this course, so you can kind of see what you're looking for. Okay, next, let's talk about the 5 major food groups. The 5 major food groups are English, Math, Science, Social Studies, and World Languages. Those are the 5 main academic school groups or food groups. And basically, so I happen to be wearing Vassar College t-shirt today, but when I worked at Vassar, those were the courses that we were looking for to calculate your GPA. Okay, so we were looking at 10th grade and 11th grade and looking just at those courses. So if you ask, like the UC system does take the visual and performing arts, I believe it's the G requirement, and that is your arts, right? And they're looking at that specifically. So they add that automatically into your GPA. At a private school, they don't always necessarily add your art grade. It doesn't mean that they don't look at it, it just means that they're not calculating it, okay? Now, let's talk about calculating your GPA. So there's a couple things why I say all of these things in one video. The first thing is the school profile served as like my Bible. When I looked at your application, I understood you more by looking at that profile, and I calculated how many honors and AP courses were offered at your school. And then I counted on your transcript how many honors and AP courses you had taken while a student there. And I included, of course, what you were taking in the senior year. So I would put a number like 3 over 8 for how many honors courses you took. You took 3 out of 8. Out of 8 offered, you took 3. I might put 5 over 15 for how many AP courses you took versus how many were offered, okay? So I would use the school profile, to first figure out how many were offered, and then I'd look at your GPA to figure out how many you took specifically, okay? So then at Vassar, we would take your GPA, we would calculate your GPA, recalculate your GPA using the sophomore year and junior years only in those 5 major food groups that I said. And a 12 point would be an A+, an 11 would be an A 10 would be an A-, and so on and so forth. So you can use that system to calculate your GPA. It's different than calculating a UC Cal State GPA. The reason that is because the UC system and the Cal State system does two things. One, they don't calculate pluses and minuses, and number two, they cap the number of APs bumps that you're going to get for AP and honors courses. Okay, so that's a different video, and you should follow that. At a private school like Vassar or at Yale, we were calculating your raw GPA on a 12-point scale, and also to the side calculating how many total honors and AP courses you had for 9th through 12th. For 9th through 12th, we calculated how many honors and AP courses you had. For your GPA, we were calculating 5 major food groups in 10th and 11th grade. Okay? So I know it's a lot of information. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but that is this video. School profile, 5 major food groups, and calculating your GPA on a 12-point scale, which is probably used for private schools. All right, bye for now.